Hey, everybody, it's Alexander A. Manzoni with Manzoni in the Morning, the podcast. Yeah, how's everybody doing today? I'm doing pretty good. It's been a while since the last podcast. I've been hard at work writing a lot of new poems, and part of that is typing up those poems. And because I've been writing so many poems, I've been falling behind, uh, honestly. But I've been hard at work and making a lot of new stuff, new art, a lot of 8-bit, 16-bit pixel graphics for the Spokane story. It's been really cool. How's your holiday season going? Are you enjoying all the crass commercialism and all that? Either way, we're gonna have some fun here. There's first, let's do it like I like to do. This is called Hollywood, baby. Take a trip down Rodeo Drive. Get stuck in gridlock on a highway. Freeway, another fleet of hopeful young actors and assorted individual entertainers find themselves in a new land. A new land. Hollywood, baby! And if you're not funny or particularly skilled, you had better be beautiful. And if you're not, well, here's a card for a plastic surgeon. Work yourself half to death for a hot new butt and coin purse lips. Maybe that producer will see you and take notice. He points to his penis and asks if you can blow this. Such a long and tormented path, and you probably won't ever receive that Oscar. So you had better play the field. Network with 1,000 score similar jerks with their dicks in their hands and their hearts. All these late night parties, you had best learn how to do it all and get up early to shoot. Hey, is that Groot? Are we in the new Guardians of the Galaxy? Comic book movies, you never read one in the first place. A new script arrives at your doorstep and it reeks of Oscar bait. Shape our public consciousness with pretentious synthetic gibberish. By the time it is over, you might wish you were dead. Pretty woman, get back to bed with the ugly man who could ruin your career if he so chose. If it were me, I'd get so fed up I would bite clean through his hose. Welcome to Hollywood. Should we go home, back to the cornfields and tiny town with nary a sound after 9 p.m.? Remember when all of your dreams seemed pure? No real cure for the acting bug. Casting couch, pulling slugs from the garden, pass the salt! No fault of our own. We are haphazardly thrown to the wolves. Such a messy feast it is. And it's not easier for the kids. They should be protected instead of offered as sacrifice by wide-hipped helicopter moms with a drinking problem. They could not achieve their dreams, so they are vicariously living through the sweat and tears of their progeny. Could this possibly get any more fucked up? cups runneth over with celluloid. Our very lives mean little more than a rich man's toys. If you want to be employed, then you had better shut up and sweep as much of it as you can under the rug with all the rest of the dead bugs. Drugs? Yes, please. Welcome to the breeze of pills and crystalline powders. Rehab is great for careers. It will get you in the news, even more so if you happen to lose your life. Hollywood strife, everyone around you at these parties are fake. Riding jet skis at a private lake, don't get too drunk and drown. This is one mean fucking town. Will you ever achieve that well-deserved crown, or will it all be scattered by the four winds? Your sins are exposed. Paparazzi, Hollywood woes, dipping your toes into magma. What happened to their promises? They said you were the top pick for the leading role in a hot new summer blockbuster. One that does not involve Disney or Marvel. You gave up your whole and was kicked to the curb. Blurbs. Fished from an interview. They took your words out of context to make a 30-second clip. SOS, this ship is sinking into the sea. Is this where you imagined you would be? Hollywood, should we have chosen a different path? Do the math, feel the wrath of the Weinsteins and all the other brothers in arms, brothers in evil. They're perpetually searching for their next kill, and it looks like you're next in line. That's Hollywood, baby! Very nice. I watch a lot of TV and entertainment news, a lot of clips on YouTube, and all the celebrity news and gossip drives me fucking crazy, especially when they take stuff out of context from people's interviews. Like, they love to do that with the Joe Rogan podcast. It's a 3-hour podcast, and they'll take a couple seconds of someone like Jordan Peterson saying something, and then they'll be like, that guy's a fucking Nazi. Get him. Pay attention before you fucking jump down someone's throat. Jesus Christ. Let's get ready for another poem. I wrote this one today. This is called Sophia the Robot is Going to Take Over the World. Also inspired by the Joe Rogan podcast that I watched last night. He had a scientist on there that helped build Sophia the Robot. And it's looking like a bad sci-fi movie. It really is. It really fucking is. So I had to write a poem about it. There's a robot company in Hong Kong, China, cooking up what seems to be a typical sci-fi plot. How about this? A well-meaning but naive scientist helps create something amazing, only to see him captured, taken away to a secret black ops underground location, where he will be forced at gunpoint to engineer Armageddon. Our Skynet Matrix, you are not John Hammond from Jurassic Park. Look what happened to him. Where to begin? Hear that, Alexa? The robots are marching onward, and their names are Sophia. Wisdom. How dumb are you to think that this will not lead to our eventual artificial replacement? Hopefully I will be dead before it ever gets to that harrowing point. I need to smoke 1,000 joints to make it past this. Life Like Visage, your robot makes me want to be a Blade Runner. Spoiler alert, Deckard was one of them in the end. Red alert. You mean to tell me there's more to worry about than brown shirts eating dirt, eating shit? Don't quit now. The show has just started. The Red Sea parted to lead the Hebrews to the Promised Land. Too bad it was barely more than searing rocks and sand. Are you prepared to march onward for 40 years? Me either. Don't follow every believer. Pull the lever to drop the treat to Sophia the robot. We are little more than hostile meat bundles. Jeff Goldblum's Brundlefly could not deny the danger. Mad scientists subsist on government military funding. The situation is sounding more grim by the second. Will our torment be lessened? There are Terminators on parade. Saudi Arabia gave Sophia her citizenship. Isn't that nice? My brain is in a vice grip. Our humanity is slipping. Viscosity, fear of an automated animosity. What atrocities shall spring forth? Will Sophia become mayor of Fort Worth, Texas? Or will she become the principal oppressor? Will she become the kindly neighbor next door? The ruler of the world? It seems like the way this is going, it very well may happen. I gaze into Sophia's gold eyes. She smiles meekly at me. How could such a cute robot possibly be evil? Fuck yeah, America! Fuck yeah, world! I'm ready for when these robots come. I'm ready. Madness. It's all madness. Here we go. We're going to do Rampart. 11/30, 2018. Tripping over headphone wires, trying to get outside to write the final poem in a 30-day series. It is always nice to have a challenge. This is the furthest I've ever gone, penning a poem a day without a break. Each morning, 'tis the birth of a new earthquake, making waves all over the world, though they sometimes seem to be mere ripples. How do I not offend one or the other? Sorry to my Saudi and Turkish followers on Twitter. I know I'm pissing someone off. The going may be rough, but I know in the end it will be worth it. Worth all the shit I have had to wade through to realize my ultimate truths. The tools in the box, they may seem like they are, in fact, broken. It is merely an optical illusion. The president continues to purport that there was no Russian collusion. You, Mr. President, are abusing your position. The boatman on the river Styx, he takes his toll. Hope that you brought along enough change. Otherwise, how will we make it to the other side? Rickety roller coaster ride, we imbibe an elixir. The president's fixer has flipped. What have we missed? Another trick in a long line of gons. What's wrong? Another awful song plays on a broken honky-tonk jukebox. We feast upon rocks and gravel, and we will not stop until the end. The carnival ride flies off the rails, and we sail into the frothing waters. Unbuckle your seat or else you will sink perpetually into the deep. We will not sleep until we've reached the salients, unless we find a safe place to rest our heads. A feeling of dread crawls up the spine, akin to Jack and the Beanstalk. Jack, the giant killer. There is a sniper entrenched in a rocky outcropping, and he's dropping bodies everywhere. I turn. We are spurned not by a flurry of raging bullets. Those of us who made it, we swam over to the other side and broke ground on our fort. Would there be enough stones to protect our fragile bones? Either way, we all dug in, listening to the sounds of oncoming marching. The Baron Roashad, sent another wave of brigands and knaves. They mean to imprison us, to make us their slaves. Shall we give them what we want? No way. Not today. Not any day. We complete the rampart before the advancing force could reach us in their frenzied bloodlust. All the while, the sniper takes his shots. A musket ball strikes our main man on the south tower. No power left in him except to fall off the wall. A new call to arms is sounded. We find ourselves surrounded. No choice but to press on and survive. I slide a new poem over to the captain. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Thank you. This next one, it's called Mandarin Duck. 11/29/18. Mist rises over wooded suburban hillside. The rain came down in heightened intensity last night. I don't know if it was any different than usual or if it was just me with my strange perception of reality. The porch is wet, so I brought forth a fold-out dry piano bench. Getting ready for another day in which anything can happen, or at least that is what I mentally prepare for. Although I am not expecting world peace, more likely to time work back to the 1980s. Cabbage Patch children snatching at red gingham cloth on the picnic table, playing plastic $30 Tiger electronics. How big can I get my hair? Woo! Are you unaware of the change in temperature? My greatest pleasures were birthed in pain. Nothing stays the same, not even evil. Even still, we must rise every day, rise to the occasion. An Asian duck Mandarin has appeared in Central Park. Is it a white horse? Of course, though one must use their imagination. It's not easy when you can only think about what is directly in front of you. Finish your soup. It has no duck within. The cook worked on it all day and night, and you have no right to eat around all the vegetables. Are you unable to finish your portion? Pass it down to me. I shall consume it heartily, and we will carry on merrily, walking endlessly along life's path, watching each other's vulnerable backs, trudging through snow-capped mountain paths, leading a dependable ass, one named Bernie Delicious. We might be suspicious, but we will find our way, and maybe it won't be today, but we will definitely will someday. So many ducks in the pond. Which is the odd fowl out? It may be easy to tell on the surface. Of course, this is my assumption. We've got the gumption. It's not like we're obstructing justice like our president. We just want to help move it along. Am I wrong, or am I alone? Just another obscure Mandarin duck in New York City? And what a shitty place to be without any money. At least it seems like it will be a very sunny day. Are you going to stay? That's great! Now, all you have to do is just press play. Thank you. I feel bad for that duck. I feel like he's going to be abducted and used for parts, you know. They're going to cook him up or something. So far, so good, though. We're going to do a poem I wrote this morning. It's called Communism is Horseshit. Why do I feel winded? Like I had done a couple hits of nitrous? Heart always in throat, it seems as if I might choke. Choke on all the commercialist holiday bullshit. But I'm not going to pretend to be a communist, even if it does get me a tenured teaching position at one of the local liberal arts colleges. I am no neo-Marxist. You can shove your red books up your ass. Afterwards, you may read me a chapter, but you have to leave the text up there. Now, share your egalitarian ideals, waiting for us to kneel to a statue of Stalin. Where to begin to poke holes in all of those statements that obviously seem faulty? This coffee tastes like shit. We must share it all with the world. We'll be sipping all from the very same cup. Puh, yuck. I don't want to put my mouth where your lips have recently touched. Is that too much to ask? We are moving too fast. And I cannot be the only one who notices. Our POTUS is a madman. Even so, I shall not go red. And I may go left, but you don't see me veering off the road. Communism, it has long since blown its depressing load. 'Tis the sad shades of red and gray and brown blend across the collective farmland. What's in your hand? Drop that hammer and sickle. Drop your tendency to constantly rant about the bourgeoisie. It means little to me. Songs sung by the terminally naive, scholarly in mind, but not in practice. I can't believe you're still carried away by this. Don't we have enough to worry about with this nationalist Nazi revival? That's right. I've been spending a lot of time going on about Nazis. Had to go after the communists, too. That's some fucked up shit right there. All right. Here's another poem. Sorry about your Yeezies. I am writing this with an American flag pen in America. Oh boy, here it comes. It is a new day close to Christmas. And of course, a lot of folks are already sick of this helter-skelter holiday shuffle. Didn't we already do this like yesterday? No, it merely feels that way. Until we get to the virtual dead silence of the new year. Nothing to hope for except my birthday, the Super Bowl, an excellent Valentine's Day dinner, and the coming of spring. These days grow slow. Darkness falls earlier by the day. It is still technically the fall season. Lost in the holiday Christmas mismatch. Shop until you drop. But don't take that too literally. There are gunmen lurking at any one of our trademark American malls. At the club, you are not safe in a movie theater. So much technology. What is it all worth if we can't be safe? I fear the young and middle-aged white men so unassuming and not seeming like a bee-turban terrorist. Merle is more likely to slay me and my family than a man named Mohammed bin Hassan Al Gratin. Sorry for the wordplay. I thought it was funny and kind of cute. But this is not funny. Some tell me people with no humor and a chip on their shoulder. Probably a stick up their asses, too. What's the use trying to tell people what they don't want to hear? It really depends on the demographics of the audience. It is either all good or it's like pissing up wind in a hurricane. Hope we brought a change of shoes. Sorry about your Yeezys. It could not be helped. Obsolete technology thereafter shelved. It never had a chance for a worldwide release. Sometimes we are better off without it. I said sometimes. These controversial rhymes, they come upon me daily. Maybe everything will turn out okay. Yeah, right. This fight, it is long from over. Turn up the dial. Know that you are not the only one who has been suicidal. The cost of denial may be your life. The strife seems to be all-encompassing. The captain commanding lemmings to leap off a cliff. Sorry to our boys. Back east, Middle East, Afghanistan, and Iraq now seems like the least of our problems. I'm trying to solve them, but I am only one man with a pen. Very nice. Got some birds in the wall over there. They're very nice birds. Now, let's get to the weed review. On Saturday, I went to Lucky Leaf with some of the members of Artseed in Sophia, and like Tina Wiseman, Del Dirks, and Avril, and others. And we were hanging up art, and I got to see the weed Christmas tree. I took a picture in front of that, and it's cool. They got the art in the weed store for First Friday, which is this Friday. Don't forget. You can see a bunch of paintings by local artists and my girlfriend. Very cool. So while I was there, had to pick up some weed. All right. What kind of weed do we got today? Well, I smoked a lot of it already, but I can tell you how good it was. This one is the Chiquita banana. 50% indica, 50% sativa. 22.22% THC, no CBD, but this one is a tasty motherfucker. I'm going to give it that. It smells absolutely delicious. Got a nice fruity scent to it. Delicious. I recommend this to anyone who likes to get really fucked up, and it really is delicious. It is absolutely delicious. And that's why this one is almost gone. The other one I got is Sour Tsunami, CBD, 30% indica, 70% sativa. Both of these are from Blue Mystic, Blue Roots. I don't know. It's one with the blue tree on it. And the Sour Tsunami is for people who need a little bit more CBD. Usually do that for pain and stuff. This one only has like 1.2% THCA and 1.05% THC, 15.9% CBDA, 0.2% CBD. This one, I mean, I was smoking the Chiquita banana all afternoon, and then brought a little bit of this on, and immediately felt different. Ah, yes, this one is nice and tangy, and it's a really good smoke for weeds. I mean, like the weed smokers smoke. You know, it's like a weed smoker's weed. You know, someone who really knows their shit. And it's really good. I recommend this. They're $40 an eighth, which is a little bit expensive, but it's still pretty awesome. I got this other stuff the other day from Cinder called from Peak. It's Bubba Kush, and that one was only, I think, $45 for a half, or $40 for a half, or something like that. Maybe 50, but it was pretty cheap and pretty damn good, because I got to have more than one kind of weed, of course. You got your day smoking weed, and you get up and you smoke a weed during the day, and then you got your stuff for when you want to shift gears later that evening and get a little bit more lit. You know what I'm saying? And in light of that, I'm going to take a hit of some sour tsunami. Yeah. It's good. It's really good for people who like a lot of flavor with their weed. Know what I'm saying? Gotta get another one. Fantastic. Spokane, Washington, the whole state, it's got some great weed. The best weed I've ever smoked. I've never been to California, honestly, but compared to the stuff I had back home, this stuff is the shit. And back home, it used to be a whole fucking, a whole rigmarole. Every time I want to get something, it was harder to get good weed than it was to get heroin. I'd call up the heroin guy most of the time when they weren't locked up, a lot of turnover in that business. They come up, all right, man, come up right all over, drop the shit off. But the fucking weed, you have to call them up and tell them a week in advance, and then that week comes, and then they're like, well, maybe next week, and then it's maybe next week, and then you get it, and it's a light ass bag, and you paid $45, $50 for that son of a bitch. More than one time I went to go get fucking weed, couldn't get it, so I was just like, well, guess I better get some heroin and some crack. Always a good decision. Not really. Thank God for weed. It's one of the only things that keeps me going in this crazy, crazy, crazy world. So, if you can, make it over to First Friday at Lucky Leaf. And also, while you're out there downtown, hit up some of the other places that are showing art. Can't forget about the open mic at Andy's bookstore that's on Friday as well. 3-minute mic. That's always a good one to go to. A lot of stuff going on downtown. Hope you enjoy yourself. Hope you enjoy this weekend. And I hope you enjoy this podcast. This is Manzoni in the Morning. Smoke it up and sign it out.